Greetings, it is Ujo Wajet, and I am here today to share with you 3 mistakes that I see busy women make when it comes to wanting to change their body, when it comes to wanting to lose weight, when they're trying to lose weight, or change your body in any particular way. So, if you are a busy woman, if you have been on a fitness journey and you have been struggling, you've been frustrated, then this video is for you. And if you know someone that has been struggling with whether it is with losing weight, whether it is with gaining muscle, gaining weight, whatever those things are, and their schedule is hectic, they have a lot going on, then be sure to share and like this video. So, first, if you hear howling winds, it is very windy in Chicago right now. And so that is where I'm at, and the wind is ridiculous. So that is what you will probably hear in the background. Thank you, nature. Do you hear that? Like, is it just me? Um, so let me dive into this. I want to be on here I don't want to hold up a lot of your time. I want to get right into it. And then if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you post #replay. And now let's get started. So for those of you that are not familiar with who I am, my name is Ujo Wajet. I am a wellness coach. I am a personal trainer. And I have been a part of the fitness and wellness industry for over 10 years. And I have worked with many clients in the realms of health, wellness, fitness, spiritual growth, life transformation, all of these different things. So I am very much qualified to talk about this topic. And it's something that frustrates me a little bit because I see it happen so often, so many times, and which is part of the inspiration for me to want to do this video, because I'm constantly getting asked the same type of questions about this, right? So let's talk about it. And then if you have any frustrations that you're dealing with and you have questions about that, let me know in the comments. So first biggest mistake that I see busy women making when trying to lose weight, when trying to get on a fitness regimen, is that you're not prioritizing fitness as a form of self-care. It's considered more of a chore, right? Just something kind of on the to-do list versus, at the bottom of the to-do list, versus like this needs to be a high priority. And one of the reasons why I see this happening is because you have a lot going on. You're busy. You might have kids. You might have a demanding job or career, and you're trying to manage a household. You're trying to manage life. You're trying to manage yourself. And so you have all these other things that are a higher priority. And that's typically one of the biggest things that I see. And what tends to happen is that you end up feeling guilty about not doing the thing, not taking care of your body because it's at the bottom of your priority list, or you have all these other things that just keep getting put in front of your fitness or your health journey, your nutrition journey, whatever it is, right? So that's something that I see a lot. And what you want to do instead is to look at, well, what is this worth to you? Whatever your goal is, weight loss, weight gain, reshaping your body, improving your health, boosting your energy, well, what is that worth to you? What is the result that you're seeking? Because when you start to look at that, then it's like, okay, well, this is important to me because I want to live a longer life. I want to be there and have more energy to be with my kids. I want to be able to perform better in just throughout the day, in my job, in my life. I want to feel more confident in my body. Whatever those things are, now you're adding a reason. You're adding an important reason why this is it, why you want to prioritize this, and how that's going to benefit your life in the long run. In the last video, I talked about dieting versus lifestyle change. So you have to think of this as the long term, not just of a quick fix type of thing. So when you look at why this should be a priority for you personally, for your personal goals, now you can start to, now you are placing value on it. It's not something where, oh, I'm supposed to do this because that's what disciplined people do, or that's what healthy people do. It's like, no, you have to be clear on why it's important for you and why it should be a higher priority. Because think about it. If you're running around and for the record, what are you busy doing exactly? What are you busy doing? Are the things that are keeping you busy, is it something that is a necessity, or is it something that's a distraction? Because you can be busy and not be productive. You can be busy, you can have a lot of responsibility, but how much of this responsibility that you're carrying, how much of it should be yours? So that's another thing to look at. Sometimes you're placing more and more responsibility on yourself that should not be your responsibility. So think about that. Because if you're constantly putting yourself on the back burner, if you're constantly like, oh, I have all these things, if you're constantly saying yes to everybody else other than yourself, then you are devaluing one of your biggest priorities. So think about that. And I've been that person, by the way. I'm not saying this. I'm speaking from experience. I've been that person that's like, okay, well, I have all these things to do. I'm so busy. I have this stuff. Yes, I have responsibility, but some of the responsibility that I was claiming should not have been mine in the first place. And I was really using that to distract myself. Has anybody else been there? Is that just me? I don't know. Is that just me? Let me know. Am I alone in this? So think about that. Because when you focus on the result and why fitness should be your fitness, your wellness, why this should be a priority and what you value from it, which is the end result or the ongoing result, the ongoing benefit of it, which is to feel happier. When you incorporate fitness and wellness into your life as a part of your life, you become happier. You're able to do more things, which takes me to the second mistake. The second mistake that I see busy women make is because they don't prioritize fitness as a form of self-care versus just some chore, something to do that they don't have time to do because there isn't enough time and they don't place the value in it. The second mistake is you're failing to work out so you can get more work done. Let me say that again. Mistake number 2. You are not working out. You're not meal prepping. You're not making healthier choices because you want to get more work done because you're so busy. You have all these things. It's like, oh, well, let me just put this off to the side. I can't do this because I have all this other stuff to do. I have to get all this other work done. Think about that. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to do anything but all this other stuff for other people. So I want you to think about who and what you're doing these things for. How much of it is for you? How much of it is for someone else? How much of the things that you're doing for yourself are necessary, are non-negotiable? When you have fitness and wellness as a form of self-care, that should be non-negotiable. When you make it non-negotiable, then you create space in your schedule. You create space in your day, in your week to make it happen. When you have a kid that has a doctor's appointment, when you have a doctor's appointment, when you have a job interview or something like that, you make that a priority, right? It's the same thing. You make it non-negotiable. This has to be done. So if you're constantly saying that you don't have time because you're so busy, and you feel like, and here's the other part of it, you feel like, well, I don't have time to spend hours in the gym. And with everything that's going on right now in our world, you might not even feel comfortable going to the gym anyway. You don't have to go to the gym to work out. You don't have to hire some fancy chef or something to make healthier food choices. You don't have to do, like, it doesn't have to be that way. So sometimes it's like, oh, well, I don't have time to do that, because you're assuming it has to be some hour-long arduous process. And it doesn't have to be. You can make it work for you. But part of it is you might not know how to work out effectively, or how to, whether it's meal prepping or make these choices, whether it's going shopping, these things, and how to do that in less time and make it more efficient. And this is part of the reason why. Let me share with you. Part of it is because you're going in blind. You're going in not knowing what you're doing, whether it's with what you're going to cook, whether it's with what you're going to, what you should be eating, whether it's how you should be training, or what type of physical activity that you want to do. You're just kind of going in like, oh, let me just find something online really quick and just do a thing. No, that's where you get lost. And then you just kind of wander around, and then you get frustrated. Going back to mistake number one, if you start to make this a priority, make your wellness, make your fitness goals, whatever it is, when you start to make it a priority, and now you start to place value in the result that you're seeking, the ongoing benefit, the ongoing result, because your fitness and your wellness and your health it's not a one-stop, time limited offer. It is constantly bringing value in your life. So you get out of it what you put into it. And when you start to create more structure, when you start to create space for it, then you can start to create a plan. Think about, how do you plan your day? How do you plan your week? How do you get all your stuff done? All the stuff that you're busy doing with your family, with your work, with managing your household, with your hobbies, whatever those things are. How do you make that work throughout your day? Are you going in just diving in without a plan? Or do you have some kind of key anchors throughout the day? Like, okay, well, I got to get this done by this time. Like, how are you managing that? Think about that and let me know. Let me know in the comments, if you feel like sharing, what those things are. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to post hashtag replay, and I can connect with you in the comments as well. So I want you to think about that. This is where this kind of wheel, that hamster wheel begins, is right here. Not having enough time because you're so busy. So you don't have the time to work out because you feel like it's going to take, it has to take an hour. It has to be 2 hours. It has to be in a gym. It has to be, with special equipment. And it doesn't have to be. That might be where the direction that you want to get to. That might be the goal. But you can start at home, in your bedroom, in the living room. You can start there and work your way up. You can start with 10 minutes of yoga. You can start with making a smoothie in the morning versus some 4-course breakfast. You have to make it work with the time that you do have. But if you don't create the space for that to happen, then it's never going to feel like you have enough time. Is that making sense? Let me know if that's making sense, because I've been that person. And I've worked with a lot of people, specifically women, mostly women, that are struggling with this, and they stay stuck in this second mistake here. They stay stuck there. That's when you get on the wheel, and then it just feels like you're always failing. You feel like you're just constantly, it's just like, when does it end? What you need to do instead is start with a shorter block of time. I promise you, just starting is the biggest hurdle. Just getting started is the biggest hurdle. And then feeling like, oh, well, because my expectations of, oh, well, it has to be this hour-long thing. Well, then I have to do it this way. Like, if I can't do it this way, then I'm failing. Has anybody, like, I've been that person where, like, no, it has to be this way. It's like, no, it doesn't. Because starting and doing 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something is better than doing nothing. So think about that. I'm going to move on to mistake number 3, and then I'm going to go to the comments and see what's happening in the comments, and then answer any questions that you might have. So I talked about that hamster wheel, that this is where it starts. And mistake number 2, which is you don't make time, you don't work out because you don't have the time to work out. It's like, well, how do I make this happen, right? Then it's like, well, I can't work out. I can't find time to move my body, whether it's yoga, strength training, whether it's going for a walk. And I say all the time, walking is highly underrated. Like, you can get so much of your life with just walking. Whatever it is, whatever you're into, some type of activity. Then it's like, well, I don't have time to do this, so let me just focus on what I'm eating. Let me just not eat. Let me just go on a fast. Let me go on a cleanse. Let me go on a diet. Which, again, I talked about in the last video. I talked about dieting versus lifestyle change. So be sure to tune in to that video. If you want the direct link, just post in the comments, and I can reply with the link to that one. But now it's like, oh, well, let me just go on this diet. I don't have time to work out, so I have to eat, right? I gotta eat. So let me just fast, let me just cleanse, let me just go on this diet or whatever. And then I'll be good. I can just, just to maintain, or just to lose a few pounds, or just to, not just so I'm not, spilling over, whatever it is, just to feel like I have some form of control. But you get caught up in the cycle of undereating, binge eating, undereating, overeating, undereating, stress eating, undereating, emotional eating. And sometimes you're so stressed that you don't eat. You just don't have the desire. Your hunger is just gone. And that needs to stop. And a lot of that is, it's a buildup of the stress and all the things that you're busy doing throughout the day. And because you don't have that space, that outlet, and mind you, you don't have to, you can start, like, it doesn't have to be like a daily thing for you to start to create space for yourself and to start making these changes. But you just want to start somewhere. And the problem with the dieting and the going back and forth is sometimes you don't even realize that that's what's happening. You try to fast, you try to cleanse, you try to detox, and then you go back to what you're doing, and you're not realizing that, oh, let me just go on this fast, and then I'm going back to what I was doing. And you're not realizing that you're on this kind of yo-yo dieting thing because it's being masked as a cleanse or a fast or a detox. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with fasting, cleansing, or detoxing. There's a space for that. There's a protocol for that. And these are things that I've done cleanses and fastings and detox. But what's the purpose? What's the intention behind it? It's very different. The problem here is that when you're back and forth, you're ruining your metabolism. Your energy levels are just dropping. They're all over the place. This also can affect your sleep. So if you're struggling sleeping, and then here comes, it's like, oh, well, I'm so tired, I don't have any energy, let me drink this coffee. I'm a coffee drinker, I love coffee, but if I get in these cycles, if I get in that cycle of high stress, or I'm kind of back and forth, I have a lot going on, because this happens to me too sometimes. I get caught up in stuff. I'm trying to manage my own business and trying to get my own life together, and sometimes I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm starting to I'm starting to veer off over here. And then I start needing more coffee because I just need more energy. And so it's like, no, I know better than this. I can get caught up in that cycle of caffeine. There's nothing wrong with caffeine, but then it's like, are you using it? Are you using it as a form? Like, are you using it as a crutch? Are you using it like, and this is, you start noticing you need more and more, and then it just never seems to be enough. So that's something for myself personally, I know I have to pay attention to. And it's just like, damn, well, I need to get more sleep. I need to start drinking more water. So, fitness professionals, we go through it too. I'm talking to the busy women out there because I am one of those people. I have been there. And I see it happen with my clients. And it's one of those things, it's like, well, let me pay attention to my energy levels. Let me pay attention to my sleep, because it's not just about the fitness or the eating. It's holistic. This is the essence of what I talk about and what I teach and what I train clients to do. But start to pay attention to that, because it's going to make it much harder. Like when you start to ruin your metabolism because you're going back and forth, your energy levels start to go all over the place. Energy levels are dropping. Your sleep pattern, you're not sleeping properly. You don't get good sleep. It's going to actually make it harder for your body to release fat. And so, and now I'm thinking a whole nother conversation is weight loss versus fat loss. And stay tuned for a future video because that's a whole nother conversation. But if your body will actually hold on to fat. If you're under eating, if you're constantly going back and forth and you're not even realizing it, you're thinking that you're doing, I'm just, I'm cleansing, I'm detoxing, I'm on a spiritual fast, and there's nothing wrong with fasting for spiritual reasons. I do that. But if you're noticing that you're constantly on these fasts because you're like, oh, well, I'm holding on to too much and it's like, no, something you're missing something. So pay attention to that. What you need to start doing instead is looking at the long-term sustainable way for you to feel energized, for you to find that hunger again, to find that normal pattern. And it might be a while before your body will find that balance if you have been out of balance. And that's another thing. This is not a quick fix thing. Think about overall lifestyle change. If you have been yo-yo dieting for 4, 5, 6 years and not even realizing it, or if you have been just even not physically active for many years, then it's going to take time for your body to adjust. It's going to take time for your mindset, your emotions, your energy to recalibrate. to that new version of you, that version of you that is wanting to experience something different. So be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. This, you don't have to do this, and so let me just say it like this, especially if you're type A like me, and you're like, oh man, I got to get this done this way. It's like, and it has to be done in this amount of time. No. You can start to see results. You can start to see results when you are consistent. And as you are consistent over time, you will see more and more results. But if you are trying to see a result that takes 3 months, 6 months to a year plus in a 14-day boot camp, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. There's nothing wrong with being a part of a 14-day boot camp. All I'm inviting you to consider is your expectation. The boot camps, the jump starts, and all these different things have realistic expectations. This is to get you going. What's more important is what happens after. What happens after the cleanse? What happens after the boot camp? What do you do? Are you going back into your old patterns? Are you going back into the yo-yoing? Or are you taking the tools that you learned from those things and then building from there? This is where I see a lot of drop off. You do the thing for that short period of time, and then you go back to what you were doing before. It's because it's fun. It's fun to do the thing for 14 days or for 7 days or for 30 days. And then it's like, oh, okay, that was fun. Let me just go back to what I was doing. You haven't changed your priorities. You prioritize something for a short block of time. You saw some results and thought you'd be good. Thought that result that you got in that 14 days or that 30 days was going to be enough to carry you for the rest of your life. It doesn't work like that. So let me go to these comments. Let me know what are you feeling about? How are you feeling about what I am talking about today? Is this resonating? Share this with somebody. If you feel like you are finding value, be sure to share this video. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me go to the comments here. Greetings. How are you? Desiree, MC. Hey. Hey, Jennifer. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You are just as awesome. Hey, Aja. Oh, yeah, from previous things. Yep. So some of y'all are feeling me on this. I'm horrible at managing and planning my daily priorities. I have plenty of time. It's all. I'm proud that I got a meditation in this morning. And one of the things about time management is self-management. Time management is self-management. And it goes back to that being busy versus being productive. And congratulations on getting that meditation in this morning. That's a great way to start your day. And that might be that one thing that you want to start, like that one priority, that one non-negotiable. And, you can start with, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga, whether it's just stretching, breathing, doing some deep breathing, like just committing to self-awareness. That's what I consider fitness and wellness to be. It's about self-awareness, and it's a direct investment in yourself. So when it comes to planning those priorities, you have to get clear on, this is how I like to view things. You have daily priorities, right? I have my priorities for out the day. I like to focus on just my top three. My top three, like I have to get these three things done. If I get these three things done, I have had a good day. That's a good day for me. If I get these three things done. If I finish those three things and there's more time to do other stuff, then I'll entertain other things on the list. Oftentimes the things, and I wrote this down this morning, you have to pay attention to what you're resisting. What are you resisting? What are you avoiding? What is that thing? Because that's usually the thing that needs the most attention. That's usually the priority that you're just trying to ignore. And before you look at your day, this is how I do it. Before I look at my day, I first look at my week. Before I look at my week, I look at the month. It's like, what do I need to have done by the end of this month? I like to do a monthly assessment, and then I break those monthly things down by the weeks. So that's something that I do. I have done many workshops on this with clients in the past. And it's something that it just takes the blinders off, because when you're just in tunnel vision, it seems like everything is overwhelming because you're in this vision here and you're trying to look at 20 things, and that can be overwhelming. And then you just shut down and you take a nap and you just get some wine and watch Netflix. And you're like, forget this. This is exhausting. You know? That is me. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience here. Time to restructure and restart. Absolutely. And this is the perfect time to start to restructure and to restart. And I'll actually be talking about this for any of you that are on Clubhouse. I literally just opened a club, the Fit Body, Fit Spirit Club on Clubhouse. If you're on there, I will be doing my first event Saturday. What day is Saturday? The 13th at 11 a.m. Central. And I am talking about realigning, because guess what? A new season is coming. Spring is literally next week. So this is a perfect time to realign, to restructure, to restart, to release the things that are no longer serving you. I'm very big on aligning with the seasons and adjusting and transitioning with the seasons. So if that's something that interests you, then connect with me on Clubhouse at Ujowajet. Well, damn, I was today years old when I learned about my own cycle. I'm telling you, it's a thing. You can get so sometimes it's just like you don't even realize it. You don't realize it because it's like, oh, well, you're so in it because the blinders are on that you don't realize it. You have to step back. And that is why I say that when it came to the first mistake that I shared, if you're not prioritizing yourself and your wellness and your fitness, whatever those things are for self, then it's going to be hard because everything is right here. And you're not allowing yourself that opportunity to step back and look at yourself. Yep, same. I think I need to give myself more credit because it's not like I don't do anything. I just feel like my time management and priorities can be better. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Jennifer, because here's the thing. That's the other part. If you don't have clear priorities of what you're doing and what is considered like, what are your high value priorities, medium, low value priorities? Like, you're doing things throughout the day, but what are the 2 or 3 things that need to be done to where it's like, okay, maybe it's a big project and you just need to focus on this one thing, and it's a really big project that you need to focus on. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate the things that you do accomplish. What is going on in Chicago today? All these sending healing and good vibes to whatever is happening, because a lot of sirens going on out there. So sometimes you can get frustrated, like you're getting things done, but it feels like you're constantly staying frustrated because you're always looking at the stuff that still needs to get done, and you're not taking the chance to celebrate your wins and reward yourself. So one of the things that I like to do is, so I told you, like, coffee is one of my things, right? So with coffee, I now reward myself with coffee. After I do certain things that I need to do for the day, then my reward is coffee. So I no longer start my day like first thing in the morning with coffee. I have my coffee later in the day because I'm like, I need to get these things done. I'll get these things done, and then I reward myself with coffee. So that's like a way for me to celebrate my win, for my wins for the morning, right? So you can do something like that. It doesn't have to be coffee. It can be just maybe you watch one of your favorite shows. Like, I can watch this show when I've done these 3 things, and that's how I'm celebrating. That's how I'm honoring in my wins. That's how I'm being like, yes. And sometimes you just got to be like, yes, I am fabulous. Like, sometimes it's just saying it to yourself. So it can be any of those things. I hope that was helpful. Thank you. I am glad that this is resonating with you. Hey, Alita, how have you been? Hope I haven't missed too much. I'll catch the replay. Awesome. Yes, indeed. I wish spring was actually the new year and not January. LOL. Spring feels better. I consider spring to be the new year. Spring is nature's new year, and that's exactly why I'm actually doing this. Why I created this Clubhouse, and I'm doing this this event. And I will eventually do a video as well. Usually every season I do something about that. So something in relation to that. So that is my new year. I don't follow the Gregorian calendar. I follow nature. I follow nature. So the Gregorian calendar is way off, but that's a whole nother conversation. So stay tuned for future rants on my thoughts about that. And stay tuned, because I will be talking about nature's new year. I will be talking about the spring and why it's so important to be in alignment with nature, because that has an effect on your body. Think about this when it comes to the goals that you have for health, for wellness. When it's warmer, when it's nicer outside, you might have more energy. You might want to do more things. And this is a great opportunity to be like, oh, things are changing. When the seasons change, there's usually something that you are wanting to change. And that's why this is the opportunity here. Honestly, I get too sucked into social media. I have been that person. And you know what I had to do? I had to take the Facebook app off of my cell phone. I only get on Facebook on my laptop now. And that has dramatically changed my experience. Dramatically, in a positive way. I have a much healthier relationship with Facebook. It doesn't, I don't spend, have you ever just sat down, you're like, okay, yep. I'm just going to check my notifications for like 10 minutes. And then 2 hours later, you're like, where did the time go? Yeah. So you have to identify the things that distract you from your priorities. Identify the things that distract you from doing those things that you need to do. Because that is also resistance. You have resistance towards things that you need to do, but you don't do, right? There's resistance there. It's like, oh, I know my soul is calling me over here. My body is calling me over here. But there's also resistance from letting go of the things that are making it that much harder to do those things that you know you need to do, that your spirit's calling you to do. I'm celebrating my small wins now. Awesome. And I'm celebrating you. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, I'm going to try that. Yes, get it done first. I did that today after my meditation. Yes, absolutely. That has changed the game for me. Excuse me, because I still get my coffee, but now my coffee, it tastes so much better because I've like done the things. I've checked a few blocks, you know. It just feels better. I feel like, and I deserve it. I feel like I deserve this coffee. I deserve this today. So yeah, it definitely changes it. So something to keep in mind, you know, with the 3 mistakes that I've shared today. Let me recap those for those of you that are just tuning in. I shared 3 mistakes that busy women make when it comes to trying to lose weight. But even if your goal is not losing weight, maybe it is gaining weight. Maybe you want to reshape your body. Maybe you just want to get have more energy. You want to change some of your eating habits. You want to get back into a rhythm of physical activity and self-care and wellness. Then these are the 3 mistakes that I've shared. The first mistake is that you don't prioritize your fitness as a form of self-care. And part of the reason is because you don't add value to it. It's just like a task versus something that is valuable, that has ongoing, continuous value in your life. Why? Because, you know, it's an investment. It's an investment of time. It might be an investment. It's an investment of energy. It's also an investment. It might be an investment of money, depending on the route that you take. But either way, it's an investment. You have to invest something for this to be valuable. Well, you have to understand the value. And then once you understand the value, then the investment makes more sense. That's what I meant by that. Mistake number 2 is that you don't have time. You don't work out because you don't have time to work out. And that becomes, this is where the hamster wheel starts, where you start to go back and forth between, oh, well, I can't work out because I don't have time, because I need to get more stuff done. I need to get more work done. I need to do the thing. And then it's like, oh, well, so now I'm never going to have time. You're never going to have time. If you're always busy, you're never going to have time. So you have to start looking at, what are you actually busy doing? Are you busy being busy? Are you busy being productive? Are you carrying too many other people's responsibilities? Do you need to start delegating authority? Do you need to start letting go of responsibilities that should not be yours in the first place? So this is where it begins. And then the third mistake, and the solution there is to look at, shift your expectations of what working out or meal prepping or what those should be. It doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing. Reduce the time and make it work for your schedule. And then the third mistake that I shared is, so mistake number 2, you're on this hamster wheel. Mistake number 3 is yo-yo dieting. You're going back and forth. And sometimes it's being hidden behind, oh, I'm just doing this cleanse. I'm doing this detox. I'm doing this fasting. But then you don't even realize you're actually you're doing that because you don't have any type of physical movement, whether it's walking, yoga, strength training, whatever, dance, whatever you're into. You're not moving your body, not creating space for that. So you're trying to do the nutrition things, like, oh, let me just clear things up. And then you get stuck on that. And that's when your energy starts to plummet. That's when you start your sleep, because you're already stressed out. Your sleep is you're not getting good sleep. And now you're actually holding on to more weight. You're holding on to more fat. It makes it that much harder to get those results that you want. So those are the 3 mistakes that I shared. And the solution to that third mistake is, you need to start looking at this thing as a lifelong, something that is a sustainable thing for you, and how you can start to slowly rebuild your metabolism and change your eating habits. Look at the way that you eat as a form of lifelong sustainability, and not like, oh, I have to punish myself, or oh, I have to restrict myself. And check out the last video that I did, dieting versus lifestyle change. And I talk more about that. That's me. I need to declutter my phone apps. Yes, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. You will be more productive, right? So this isn't about, I feel like a lot of times it's all about, like, you think about fitness or nutrition. It's like, oh, I have to restrict myself, or even like attention, where your attention goes. And it's like, let's change this from restriction to what can you move around? What is the best use of your energy? So for me, taking the app off of my phone, that doesn't mean that I'm never on Facebook. I'm on Facebook and YouTube right now. I'm on Facebook and YouTube right now simultaneously. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to do that at Ujo on YouTube. And then connect with me here on Facebook at Ujo. So now I'm just managing my time differently. I'm using the prime time for my energy is spent like right here, right now. So when do you have more energy? Because that just drains me. And then I don't get anything done. I don't get as much done. And there's a withdrawal period, by the way. It was like for the first 3 days, I was like, kept trying to look for the app on my phone for like the first 3 days. After I was like sweating, like, ooh, where's Facebook? Oh gosh. But then after that withdrawal period, I was able to, I was like, okay, wow, I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to do more things. So yeah, it's very important. So it doesn't have to be Facebook. Whatever your thing is, whatever is taking up your time on social media, take it off. If it's on your phone, take it off your phone. I started to ask myself, if I was at where I want to be, what would I be doing? How many days per week would I be working out? What would I be eating? I had to start putting myself there already. Absolutely. I love that, Desiree. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. This is what I call mapping out the vision. Who is that version of you? Where is she at? Who is that version of you that is already there? I actually do this with my clients all the time. Because sometimes, if you don't know, and this is why what I mentioned in that first mistake of, if you're not prioritizing it as a form of self-care, you're not prioritizing yourself and these goals as a form of self-care because you're not placing value in it. And one of the ways to find the value in what you're seeking is to know what it feels like to already be at the other end of it. And when you can start to envision that, now not only do you have a thought, an idea of how you want to feel, but now you actually are connected to the feeling. And when you tune into that feeling, when you tune into the possibility and the benefit, the ongoing benefit of getting to that point, now you have value. And now you are invested in finding and staying in that feeling and wanting to experience that on a regular basis. And that is so important. And this is why I talk about this alignment of, and take this holistic approach. And I always talking about aligning the mind, the body, and the spirit when it comes to health and wellness and your spiritual growth. It is all connected. It's all about being in tune with yourself and how your environment influences that. So something to be mindful of. It's such a key point. So thank you for sharing that, because it's not just about it's not just about what's happening, like the things that you're doing or not doing. It's about what you're feeling and what you're not feeling. Like, aren't you tired of being tired? Who is tired of being tired? Listen, after the year that we've had, this, I mean, just Earth is exhausting. This whole planet is exhausting. Think about your life and how you feel. Sometimes you're so much in your mind that you forget to tune into your body. Are you in tune with your body? I actually have a podcast episode. I can't think. Let me pull it up really quick. It's titled, Are You in Tune with Your Body? Which episode is it? It is episode 11 of the Fit Body, Fit Spirit podcast. This is the name of my podcast, Fit Body, Fit Spirit. You can find that on Spotify, on Amazon, on Apple, Google Play, all the podcast platforms. You can check that out. It is episode, I just said the name of it, episode 11, Are You in Tune with Your Body? Check that out. Let me see if I can drop that link, because I talk about that. I talk about how you can override these distractions. Now, let me pull this up really quick. So I know sometimes we don't want to click extra buttons all the time. So let me just put this in the thing here for you. Okay, do y'all hear this wind? I'm typing this in right now. Are you in tune with your body? All right. So if this resonates, then this might be something that you will get value from as well. All righty. So with that, okay, back to the comments. Where do we go have a session with you? If you're interested in a session with me, you can go to my website. Let me pull that up for you, and I'll put that in the comments as well. You can go to my website, ujowajet.com. You can also just DM me, send me a message here. If you're on Facebook, send me a message on Facebook, or you can go, and then I can send you the link directly through there. Let me drop my website link as well. Head over to ujowajet.com, click on Work With Me. And let me just put this in the comments as well. And this is the direct link to the Work With Me tab. Click on Work With Me, and then in the drop down, you'll see there's a 15-minute consultation. You can select that. There's other options on there, but if you just want to get an idea of how to work with me or what would be the best option for you, and we can figure out like what your goals are and what would be the next best step, then just click on that. You get a free 15-minute consultation, and then we can see kind of, what it is that you are seeking, whether it's coaching, whether it is, if you're wanting a reading or something like that, then you can connect with me there. So that is ujowajet.com, and click on Work With Me. Or you can just send me a direct message on a Facebook Messenger. So those are the options you have there. And I think I have a little thing here with my website. Here's the link to, here's my website, ujowajet.com. And you can connect with me there. So let me know what your takeaways were from this live stream today. Let me know if you have any questions. What were some of your, what was the biggest takeaway? I would love to know. I would love your feedback on your experience with this live stream today. Let me know. And what is your next step? What is your next step? What are you going to do for you today? Let me know. What are you going to do for yourself? What is your next takeaway? What is your next action? Because that's what's more important. It's not about just sitting here listening to me. It's about what you are going to do for yourself. How are you going to take this information and utilize it for yourself? How? That's what's more important. Think about that and let me know. That's what's more. Let me know. And other than that, it has been a pleasure. If you want to connect with me, you can do so at ujowajet.com. You are welcome. And yeah, take what you learned today. If you got something out of this, be sure to share it. Share this video, like this video, and let me know whether you're watching the replay or whenever you're watching this, let me know what is your next step. What are you going to do with this information? What is your goal now? Because if you just go back to whatever, then what's the point? What is your one thing? What is your one next step? What is the one thing that you're inspired to do now? What are you aware of now? Let me know. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in, Desiree. Thank you. Thank you, Erica. It has been a pleasure connecting with you all. I hope that you enjoy this and connect with me on my website, ujowajet.com. Connect with me on Clubhouse at ujowajet. I just opened up a club, which is the Fit Body, Fit Spirit Club on Clubhouse, and I will be hosting my first event on Saturday, and that is the 13th at 11 a.m. Central. And we are talking about realigning the mind, body, and spirit as we prepare to transition into spring. So I hope that you all enjoyed, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.